quick video for what is new at your Tacoma Bead Factory this weekend. Mostly it is lots of new markdowns and clearance things on sale, sprinkled in with some lovely new items. Right now you're looking at the gemstone strands from our latest Destashed collection that have been 25% off, and now they are 50% off. And there's gorgeous, gorgeous strands left, and all those will be 50% off. Then, let's see, we're gonna kind of zoom around the store without going too fast. Lots of new satin pieces in. I love this line, and I'm starting to put out more of my samples. I love these little sweet components. Look at these dangles. They're so darling. And I'm working on some new samples with that. Then I want to show you these little boxes. I know it may not seem too exciting, but they're really nice. Look how pretty the texture, and they're so heavy. And so I just have a handful of them, and they're gonna be like 30 cents, 20 cents, 10 cents, until they're gone. I mean, Christmas is right around the corner. These are just beautiful boxes. They were too lovely not to make available. Then I have got in some new chain by the foot, just as we kind of grow our collection again with just lovely basics. And then I also came across these beautiful sterling post from Pacific Silver Works. That's the thing, when I say we put new things out every day, it's because I'm always going through, cleaning out things and going, oh my God, where did that come from? That I didn't see them before. And I don't know how many are here, 5 or 6 pair. They're so pretty. There's just not, they make such beautiful things. They were $6.50 a pair at my shop back in 2010. It's the last time I remember having them, because we were on 6th Avenue. And that's how much they are here. Especially now, they're easily 3 times that. So they're not to be missed. And then there's a couple little of another design, that little etched pair too, that has a loop on the bottom, right? These all have a little loop that opens, right? I went through all these, I cleaned them. I made sure all the loops were, you know, closed perfectly and even, and nothing that was wonky or broken. They're perfect, perfect. So you'll wanna come check those out. There's a little handful of beautiful components, charms I've put out. Then there's these beautiful little crystal pave bales that my chain supplier sent me, and they only had a handful and already sold some, but they're so pretty, right? So it's just for a pendant. Look how lovely. All right, so we're just gonna hang any kind of little, you know, pendant off there. It's just such a pretty, pretty design. Gemstone or whatever you want to, you know, put off the bottom of there. They're just lovely. So pretty, pretty. So there's a few of those. Then I have gorgeous, what I call designer ear wires, right? They're not sterling, they're base metal. They're, again, made for my chain supplier, so they're very nice quality plating, but they're fancy, right? I just love them. And I can't get them anymore. They don't make them anymore. There's a little hammered pair. I always love these. That loop opens. I have a couple pair of earrings with them. I love them very much. These are so pretty. Right, look at that. It's just a pretty design in front, and that big loop opens. And I have those in gold or in gunmetal, just a few of them. And a couple in silver, right? So pretty. And then a little different design. It's also in silver. So pretty. And these sold for $6.50 a pair. These were $7.50 a pair. And some of the other ones were less, so I put them all. These were $4.95, so I put them all at $4.95. It just makes it easier, but they're not to be missed. It's a great collection while I have them. Also, a great collection is I put in some beautiful high-end tip drill gemstones. There's some green amethyst and beautiful labradorite and ametrine and peridot and rubies and apatite. And actually, a lot of these are from my personal collection, including these big amethysts and the chalcedony, and then also, as well as some smaller high-end, very beautiful quality carnelian and prehnite and amethyst and all the things. So when you only need a few gemstones instead of a whole strand, you have them there. And where else should we go? Here's some freshwater pearls. These are also all 50% off now, and we have so many beautiful strands that are left. There's some here on the table, as well as some on the wall that we'll go see in just a sec. And what else? There's these beautiful brass components and the JBB and Gita pieces and gemstone pendants, as well as there's that tier cast. And then I put out a selection of loose freshwater pearls, just a beautiful collection of mostly higher end quality, high quality ones in cool tones, warm tones, and then of course in white. And even though they are all very nice quality, they're still really inexpensive by the time you break them down. So 50 cents, 75 cents, 20 cents for some of those. And then I did a few trays of gemstones as well. Same thing, turquoise and coral, and then lovely labradorite and amethyst, carnelian, sugilite, prehnite, just lots of stones and things that these will change all the time. And some of these are also from my own collection, including these big, beautiful drops and those big gray ones. And so it was just a fun way to kind of put these out and make them available. And then the remaining pieces of our designer findings collections, these are also all now 40% off as well. So that's an insane, great deal. So you want to come grab those while you can. What else shall we spin around and look at? Let's go this way. More carpet. The rest of our Toho our seed beads, are also now 50% off. There's so many of those big, beautiful colors in the size 8s and 6s, so many lovely ones. So you'll want to come grab those. The rest of our Thunder Polish strands are only $4. There's some here and some at the front. More freshwater pearls, again, all 50% off. And then let's walk over here. So all that wonderful big wire I put out a month ago or so, the remaining of that I have discounted even further. So now we're talking about $1, $2. For this big braided wire, it's $2. A twisted wire, those were $10 spools at $2. All our memory wire is $2. All the remaining silk cards are only $1. So just, this is not to be missed. You want to come down and grab those. And lastly, besides the wire, there's so many fun stringy materials. So all these ones in the plastic, I know it's kind of hard to see, but right, these were all from the shop. They're all like pre-cut different materials. I took them out of the bag, measured them again, and relabeled them and put them in new bags. But there's a lovely selection here. And these are all half off their original price as well. Big, beautiful silk satin ribbon. We had several designs that we made with the ribbon. Then tons of satin rat tail, right? All in, and we're talking 6 yards, 4 yards, 9 yards. I mean, big kumihimo quantities, right? Except that instead of 50 cents a yard, which it was 20 years ago, they're back to 25 cents. So these are, you know, $1, $1.50 packages. This collection of our cotton cords, same thing. A couple sizes, different colors. I think there's about 2 yards in each one. So they work out to like 75 cents for the package. Then there's a bunch of, I'm gonna set the phone down so I can open a package, not being too jerky around. This is all that mesh ribbon. It's wire mesh, right? You remember working with this? It's so pretty, right, dude? Oh, it's so lovely, right? The end of it is open, right? And you put the beads inside of it, and you can use smaller ones or bigger ones, but then you knot it, right, in between those beads so that it's floating. Especially if you use a bigger one, it's really pretty, but you use several smaller ones, and then you knot it along the way, and also put a crimp at the end. It's so pretty and very expensive. I just looked, we sold it at $4 a foot. I was just looking at Fire Mountain where it's $5.95 a foot. So I have these still marked at our original price and then marked in half. again. So, and there's beautiful colors and shapes, and sizes. There's 2 thicknesses, lots of colors, and most of these are in 3 foot, which is great length, so it makes most of the packages $3. No, that must be a 2 foot one. That's $3. $4.50, $4. So here's your chance to play with this and make beautiful pieces. I'm never going to carry this again, so it's a great opportunity to do that. Then I have some really cool things. This little woolly wire. This is wire, like wire, with wool around it, and it comes with full instructions on how to make like head pins, like eye pins and loops and wire loops with them. There's a couple different color stories in these sets. There's several things of hemp too, and again, all 50% off. Silk sari, spools of silk sari cord. Isn't that cool? Full spools of silk cording. Again, all half off. And what are this? What's this? These were all kits that had beads and findings and things, but did not have the instructions or pictures. It was Kumihimo kit. So here's a beautiful cotton Kumihimo cord that I'm going to sell in these color sets because they're just beautiful color stories. So there's 3 of those available. Again, half off. Elastic cord, colored elastic cord, $1. A bunch of Nymo, right? For my seat beaters, there's Nymo spools at 50 cents, and other carded nylon at $1. And just lots of cool cords here, very inexpensive. Come down and grab them before they're gone so you can get your colors and sizes and save so much money. So that's it. Thanks for watching all this. I hope to see you this weekend. Don't forget, we have Bead brunch on Sunday, so you can come shop, and I have so many cool demos to show too. So until then, sparkle brightly.